I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. My superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will.
I was raised by the Ford Foundation and Carnegie Endowment.
I am Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm Piers Morgan.
Ever seen a Chowini?
Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you? I'm Bernie Sanders.
I'm Bill Hicks, your host. We'll be right back.
They're putting chemicals in the water, and they're making the frogs gay. This video has been buried deep in my subconscious for quite some time. We're going to talk about some of my favorite things. We're going to talk about my favorite comedian, Bill Hicks, who inspired this Just a Ride tattoo, my first tattoo. We're going to talk about Alex Jones, famous internet buffoon, champion of conservative ideals, an avid workout supplement and brain pill entrepreneur. And we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. You guys remember when Shane Dawson used to talk about conspiracy theories and then tried to have sex with his cat? You guys, I don't know a lot about that lore. I do know this video in particular is so right up my alley, and that is the conspiracy theory that Bill Hicks faked his death and became the conservative talk show host Alex Jones. Now, I've said this on stage before. I used to love conspiracy theories. I really did. And I feel like 2020 kind of ruined them. They're not really cool to be into anymore, for valid reasons. But if you haven't seen my special trauma bonding, I'll tell you the bit right now. Give that a watch when you're done with this. Now, the problem with most conspiracy theories is most of them are true. I'm kidding. There's just always one, like, BS detail that ruins a conspiracy theory. Like, it takes, like, that one step too far and makes it out of the realm of possibility. I think that's done on purpose. My conspiracy about conspiracy theories is that the government adds a BS detail to throw you off.
It's almost like it's a bad improv game. You know, one guy goes, 9/11 was an inside job. Somebody else goes, yes, and it was the Jews. Whoa! That had nothing to do with nothing. What the hell? It's like 6 companies control every single aspect of your life in secret. Yes, and they're lizards. Stop inviting that guy. We're getting close to something, that guy ruins it, you know?
So when I stumbled across this conspiracy theory way back in the day, oh god, I was in college. You know, I think I had done mushrooms for the first time. I was prime for this. I had been doing stand-up for a while, but I hadn't really tried to study the greats of your craft, you know? And Bill Hicks is one of them. So I started watching Bill Hicks's content. I was getting into conspiracy theories. I was coming down from about 1/8 of shrooms, and I watched a bunch of videos, some that I don't know if I can find anymore because they've been taken down because they were spreading the truth! But when you're, you know, naive enough on the internet, young enough on the internet, you know, malleable enough, conspiracy theory video can really get you by the balls. I mean, we've seen this happen in real time for a decade now. Half of everybody's insane now. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how everybody's nuts now? They're putting chemicals in the water and they're making the frogs gay. Now, before we get on to, you know, Alex Jones and the conspiracy theory, I want to talk a little bit about who Bill Hicks was as a comedian. Bill Hicks was a very counterculture comedian. He became popular in the late 80s and early 90s. He was really popular out of the States. He would do a lot of European tours. But in the US, he never really hit his stride. He used to joke that his tours were so small, he called them the Flying Saucer Tour, because he only appeared in rural towns where nobody wanted him there. But his subject matter was very angry prophet type. For those of you who don't know, angry prophet is like a subsect or like niche genre of comedian. You know, like the old man who's like, let me tell you what's wrong with the world today. You know, that's your Lewis Blacks, your George Carlins, your Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks really, like, in the era that he became popular and then the echoes of his act that existed on social media and YouTube, you know, for years to come, you know, that like Bush era, like pre-internet boom, you know, very anti-establishment, very anti-war, very conspiracy coded. You know, George Carlin would talk a lot about... I got some vinyls, by the way. We got George Carlin Class Clown vinyl over here. I got this tattoo over here, and there was a record store next to the tattoo place. And I was like, oh my god, a record store. I'm getting off topic. George Carlin material, well, built off the back of Lenny Bruce and, you know, alike, had that picking apart of societal norms But George really took it a step to where he was talking about, like, it's a big club and you ain't in it. You know, rich people in back rooms cutting this country up and selling it out from under your nose. Where's the jokes come in, Jake? Exactly, you know? It's funny because it's true. And that's what kind of built the archetype of the comedian philosopher that everyone in Austin and Joe Rogan has ruined. Oh, I'm an angry prophet for saying trans people don't exist. You're the fucking moron. I'm an adult. I need to calm down. No, but Bill Hicks stepped into those angry prophet shoes, very much creating this ethos of, like, folksy Americana. You know, real libertarian before that also got ruined. And so when a lot of famous people die, there's conspiracy theories like they're not actually dead. Why? Probably because enough people love these celebrities dearly and there's a little bit of hope that maybe they are still kicking it somewhere. You know, being parasocial before it was called parasocial. And Bill was so entrenched in the conspiracy culture. Why not there be conspiracy theories made about him and his alleged death? And do you know who else is entrenched in conspiracy culture? Alex fucking Jones. Alex Jones is a conservative radio and talk show host, made famous for denying many deaths from the Sandy Hook shooting. Now, the problem with Alex Jones is he is very funny. You know, I used to watch him as entertainment, not because I believed any of the crazy things he was saying, but because it was, like, really the first lolcow. Now, the thing that makes Alex Jones not a lolcow is that he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's grifting, and he's, you know, just a snake oil salesman selling snake oil to people who are like, ooh, snake oil. Now, before I get into the evidence that suggests that Bill Hicks faked his death and became the conspiracy theorist known as Alex Jones, we must first ask ourselves why. Why? I don't know, because it's entertainment. No. Some people theorize. Ancient astronaut theorists believe that Bill Hicks is controlled opposition, you know, in some deal that he has with the government, where being famous, he didn't like. You know, he didn't want to be on the road anymore. He didn't want to be a road dog. He wanted to have a nice, cushy gig where he still got to perform, but under a different moniker. Cue the U.S. government, who is aware of Bill Hicks's endeavors, and says, hey, we got a deal for you. You got to quit all this bullshit you're doing, and we'll give you this platform to do XYZ, all backed by the CIA or whatever. And doesn't that already sound like it's LARPing? Like it's fan fiction made by people like me who desperately want Alex Jones to be Bill Hicks? Because if Alex Jones is Bill Hicks, not only is Bill Hicks not dead, but Alex Jones isn't real either. That's a win-win. It would be an Andy Kaufman level bait and switch that would go down in history as one of the greatest performances of all time. As an optimist, how could you not want that? But that would mean that Bill Hicks, the person, sold out, essentially. He would betrayed his anti-establishment, anti-American government morals for a cushy gig, underselling his community and boosting the people who he's sworn to hate. That doesn't seem like in character for Bill Hicks, and I wouldn't want that to be the case. Now, this is all sourced from a video that I'll be linking in the description below. It seems to have compiled all the evidence, the best that I can find so far. So I'll be kind of summarizing a lot of what's said in that video, but also kind of reacting to it as well. Now, there used to be a bunch of videos on this back in the day, and they have been removed. Wonder why? I know why. It's because I remember I was showing a good friend of mine one of these conspiracy videos, you know, because I'm a batshit person to hang out with. And both of us were like, wow, this is really compelling. This is crazy, huh? Wow. And then at one point they said, also, Michelle Obama has a penis. And I was like, whoa, huh? That had nothing to do with nothing. Let me get on a side tangent here. Conspiracy theories about who's trans and who's isn't. Knock that off. Because A, weird thing to police. B, why do you care so much? And C, who cares if they are? Conservatives love to think they're protecting kids by doing all this anti-trans bullshit, but they're the ones who are like, I want to police all the little girls at the soccer game to make sure no one's got a wiener, so let me check on those little girls' gross. It's gross. It's gross. You guys are being gross. Who cares if Michelle Obama has a swinging dick? Can I get that? This is my Alex Jones moment. Who cares if Michelle Obama... I'm working on a new character called Woke Alex Jones. Look, trans women are women, and who cares if Michelle Obama's got a swinging dick? The work she did for school lunches is undeniable, and youth health and fitness skyrocketed. Now we got Trump in office, and kids are eating Lunchleys, drinking Prime energy drinks, having heart attacks at 22. Let's get some mid 2000s, early 2010s brain rot. Let's do that. Okay, 6 years ago, this has however many views.
ODD TV.
Kill the programming.
Hey everybody, ODD here. What's good?
I wanted to dive into this Alex Jones-Bill Hicks debate. I've been researching the idea that Alex Jones might be Bill Hicks. First off, they look identical. When comparing pictures of the two...
That's a damning image. This is a very damning image here. Hold on, let me fix my size. Okay. Look at this. This is crazy. Camera 2, how you doing?
You'd have to be blind not to see the similarities.
Look at these triangles. You see these triangles? Camera 1, camera 2. Look at these triangles. No, look, I'm not a facial forensics expert, and I highly doubt this person is also a facial forensics expert. This is convincing-ish, you know? Like, if I really wanted to believe that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones, you better believe Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. You know, yeah, this looks like you could do some plastic surgery, get some tweaks to your face, you know? Look how different Joe Biden looked every other week. He kept getting facelifts to look younger, you know? We had 7 different Joe Bidens. They were all clones. Listen.
Have doppelgangers, but these guys both grew up in the state of Texas and have the same teeth, which is damn near an impossibility, especially when...
I have seen a lot of this, how they have, like, the same, like, teeth, you know? Only, like, one of them looks like, allegedly, Alex Jones looks like his teeth have been shaved down from Bill Hicks to Alex Jones, but they have, like, the same, like, bite. You know, again, I'm not a facial forensics expert. I don't know how you identify bodies being the same, but if you're a clueless nut like me and you find another clueless nut on the internet, you can be very convincing.
When considering all of the other things they have in common.
The same protruding tooth. Got him. Okay, yeah, this image is pretty nuts. Squint your eyes, you know, you're looking at the same. Why Alex Jones' skin looks so much smoother than Bill's? Maybe it's just the better camera quality, or maybe, you know, Alex Jones burned his fingerprints and therefore the rest of his skin off so he could, you know, be slippery around people who are onto him. If you have a gap in your tooth, you are either Bill Hicks or Alex Jones.
They share the same best friend and production partner, Kevin Booth. Here's a clip of Kevin Booth discussing a little bit about growing up with Bill Hicks as his best friend.
I remember I used to buy a Totino's frozen pizza every single night and like a half a gallon of Bluebell ice cream and go over to Bill's house, and that's what we would do. Watch soap, pizza and ice cream, and just listen to albums and watch the show Soap.
Now here's a clip of AJ accidentally slipping up on a show where Kevin Booth was the guest.
No, I'm just giving medical facts here on air, buddy. All right, let's reset, go to break. Me and Kevin are old friends. This is not good here on air. Me and Kevin are old friends. This is not good here on air. A little bit of gallows humor here straight ahead. I'm Bill Hicks, your host. We'll be right back. I'm Bill Hicks, your host. We'll be right back.
Okay, also, it looks like the lore, creatively, allegedly, is that Bill Hicks was working on the character Alex Jones in the background of his career, and when the time came for the switch, he just abandoned the Bill Hicks identity and became Alex Jones. Okay, also, it looks like this video claims that there's a lot of production connections. So I'll just go ahead and rattle off those just for the sake of compiling evidence. Allegedly, Alex Jones and Bill Hicks both had the same best friend, Kevin Booth, because they are all from Austin, Texas. Bill Hicks and Alex Jones were both clients of the Sacred Cow Productions production company. There just seems to be a lot of crossover. It's kind of a Hannah Montana situation. How come we haven't seen Miley and Hannah in the same room?
Some people say that Bill and Alex don't sound alike, but actually they do at times. Here's Bill Hicks.
You suck, buddy, you suck. I can yell at the comedian because I'm a drunk son. That gives me carte blanche. I got a cunt and I'm drunk. I can do anything I want. I don't have a cock. I can yell at performers because I'm a fucking idiot. Because I got a cunt.
You see why he's one of my favorites.
I want you to go find a fucking soul.
And here's Alex Jones.
You know what it's like to go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers and you bastards are probably going to end up killing me one day? You know what it's like knowing you've ruined my life? You know what it's like, you sons of bitches? I'm tired of your crap! You commit evil, you're part of an evil system, and we're standing up against you! And the Republic is going to defeat you in the end!
I don't have a cock! I can yell at performers! Because I'm a fucking idiot! Because I gotta
go to sleep every night knowing you work for a bunch of psychotic killers and you...
I feel like I'm at Thanksgiving right now. This is great. This is awesome.
You bastards are probably going to end up killing me one day.
Well, we're down here at the legendary Access Studios, where Bill Hicks was interviewed by Lord Booth.
I'm not gonna lie, at this point in the video, I'm 8 minutes into this Bill Hicks' Alex Jones video, and I'm convinced. I was gonna come into this video a lot more skeptical, because when I was a lot younger, I firmly believed this conspiracy theory, and you get older, you learn things. Do I think it was likely that Bill Hicks, no, that's a silly conspiracy theory, that's ridiculous. I am watching this video again as a 28-year-old person, and I'm like, oh, I forgot how compelling this evidence was. No, look, I'm not going to watch the entire video. I encourage you to watch it yourself. And if you think Bill Hicks is Alex Jones, that's a harmless conspiracy theory to believe, I think. I don't think a lot of people get hurt when you believe a conspiracy theory like that. I think there are some conspiracy theories that are very, very, very dangerous. And I think a lot of conspiracy theories, again, my bit about conspiracy theories, a lot of the time stuff will be framed as a conspiracy theory so that you don't actually look at what underlying stuff is going on. Because, yeah, we live in a very corrupt system. There's very corrupt and shady things happening all around us. But it's the people who, take it to, the anti-vax level or the lizard people level. The Anunnaki had sex with her, babe. It wasn't me. Babe, I didn't reply to your text because the Anunnaki was giving me sloppy toppy. I'm so sorry. Babe, my DMT spirit guides told me I had to hook up with her 1 time, 2 times.
And each of us players upon it. I mean, as Bill Hicks, I know that better than most. Folks, I am Bill Hicks.
And I'm sitting here looking at all this, and these people come up to me on the street and they go, hey Joe, something like 5 times. And then I try to think, I knew you were, I mean, not
Alex
Joe.
Jones. Alex.
Whatever
your fucking name is. Alex Jones.
All right, the programming's
So
wearing
they
out.
yell
So I want to just get this out of the way. I am Bill Hicks.
All right, let me just go ahead and rattle off all the bits of evidence that I know off the top of my head after watching this and being an avid believer in this theory for far too long. Their faces, similar. Facial structure, teeth alignment. They have moles in similar spots, where Alex Jones looks like he's had moles removed, where Bill Hicks has had moles. Alex Jones does look like if Bill Hicks gained a few pounds and got a facelift. Alex Jones claims to be in his 50s when he looks like he's in his 60s, which is how old Bill Hicks would be. They are the same height. They are both from Austin, Texas. They have similar accents. They talk the same. They do the same loud, scary voices. They're both kind of conspiracy mongery. They're both allegedly anti-establishment characters. They both worked at Sacred Cow Productions. They both worked with Kevin Booth. Alex Jones allegedly received an award on behalf of Bill Hicks with Kevin Booth for some reason. Alex Jones has been tongue-in-cheek about him being Bill Hicks multiple times on camera and with guests. Photos of Alex Jones in his youth look very different or just look doctored. There's not a lot of photos of Alex Jones in his youth. Bill Hicks was allegedly working with Kevin Booth on a Rush Limbaugh adjacent character that is basically the Alex Jones character. Alex Jones has shown a propensity to doing silly voices that sound similar to Bill Hicks' silly stand-up voices. The lore or the backstory seems plausible. The evidence is stacking and striking, but even with all of this evidence, I still think there becomes a media literacy question on, can we trust the people who are compiling this evidence? Are they experts in their field? Are these forensics gurus, or are these just people drawing lines on faces? I don't know. I can't tell the difference. I'm an idiot. And let's say all this evidence is true. Them going through all of the effort to make these things happen. Is that plausible? Why would they do this? Would the U.S. government approach Bill Hicks with the gig of a lifetime for the sake of controlled opposition, and so Bill can do a character for 3 decades? Are they blackmailing him like at a Diddy party to do so? If this is true, how and why? And then there's the implication. That means they've probably done this with a bunch of people. How many celebrities are like CIA plants? How many celebrities, because someone upstairs said they had to, At the end of the day, like a lot of things on the internet exists to just be confirmation biased for whatever fucked up thought you're having. If you're a Bill Hicks fan and you hate Alex Jones and you wish one of your favorite comedians was still alive and one of the worst people on earth was a figment of your imagination, you'll believe anything you want to hear that confirms your biases. And the same goes for everything else on the internet. If you had a hunch that vaccines were bad and you wanted to seem smarter than your friends and you read something that you didn't fully understand, then sure, you'll repost that on Facebook to 9 other people who agree with you. If somebody takes a batch of statistics about income inequality or racial injustice and cherry picks certain data points to prove a point, and you're already feeling pretty racist, and you go, see, that's what I thought. I don't know how data works. If your FYP is just tarot girly after tarot girly telling her that they're gonna call back, they promise. Maybe you need to get off TikTok. I don't know. Well, let me know what you think. Is Bill Hicks Alex Jones? Is Timothy Chalamet Natalie Portman? Does Michelle Obama have a penis? Are we doomed as a society to believe everything we hear on the internet? Let me know in the comments down below. If there's another conspiracy theory you want me to investigate, whether it's comedy adjacent or not, please let me know. If there's a stand-up comedian you want me to talk about on this channel, please let me know. I am desperately seeking your validation, and I am so anxious without it, and whatever you guys put in the comments, I will do. I promise you. I've been on Indeed for the last 6 months, and the only thing that has been paying me the bills is this goddamn app. I hate YouTube so much, and I'm in a prison of my own making. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. I appreciate you.